Discovery of a dead Almasty. Another eyewitness account collected by Koffman. Story told by Ziganov Kazrael Khamid, 46 years, Kabardian, measurer in the brickworks of Baksan. At the end of September in 1939 or 1940, I was following the road from Nizhny Korkuzhin to Malka. I decided to cut across an immense field of corn. I had hardly left the road, about 40 meters away from it, when I fell on the remains of an Almasty which had been devoured by wolves or dogs. Over a space of about 12 meters in diameter, everything had been trampled down, the corn was beaten down and destroyed. In the middle of this area lay the head of the Almasty with what remained of the neck. The left half of the neck had been devoured. Until that day I did not believe in the existence of Almasties. I laughed and claimed that they were fables and inventions. That is why I proceeded to examine this head with particular interest. Armed with a stick, I turned it over on all sides and, sitting on my heels, I examined it closely. The head was enveloped in a whole mane of very long hair which, in the living state, probably reached to the waist. The hair was very tangled and matted with thistles. This mane was so thick that, when I turned the head, it remained in the air, as on a cushion. That is why I was not able to discern the form of the skull. However, its dimensions were those of a human skull. The forehead was receding. This spot is very prominent points to the eyebrows. The nose is small and turned up. It had no root, and was as though pushed into the face. It was the nose of a monkey. The cheeks were prominent, like those of a Chinese. The lips were not those of a man. Rather, they were thin and straight, as in monkeys. I did not see the teeth, as the lips were pressed firmly together. The chin was not as in man, but was rounded and heavy. The ears were human. One was torn, the other intact. The eyes were strongly slanted, with the apertures directed downward and outward. I do not know the color of the eyes. The eyelids were closed, and I did not raise them. The skin was black, and covered with dark reddish-brown hair. The hair was absent around the eyes and on the upper parts of the cheeks. The cheeks themselves and the ears were covered with short hair. On the neck and the chin the hair was longer. The head gave off a powerful and repulsive odor. It was not the odor of decomposition. The remains were fresh and did not smell of anything. There were no flies or worms. It was the odor of the Almasty itself, so sickening that I nearly vomited. Also, I examined the head, holding my nostrils shut with my left hand while I maneuvered the stick with my right. The odor resembled that of old filth, or a dirty body, or mold. Nearby were scattered the other parts of the body. I saw whitish bones covered with fragments of flesh, but I did not go near them. This line is potentially important. However, its dimensions were those of a human skull. In other words, contrary to what you'd expect, the skull of an Almasty is not remarkable for its size despite the fact they are often reported to exceed 7 feet in height. The average person would not suspect it was anything but an ape skull. Post from user Occam's Volkswagen at Reddit. Comments. I like reading these Almasty accounts. Thank you. This the second time reading this one. Sometimes there's a tremendous amount of overlap for me a few times. I've been scratching my head. I wonder if there is vastly different beings out there. What I mean by that is, do Sasquatches have the equivalent of a hills have eyes wrong turn inbred mutant population? I have 2 really smart dogs. Despite going all over in the woods, constantly running around, they both have beautiful coats, choose paths wisely, rarely get dirty. Meanwhile, a friend had one that is dumb as bricks. Constantly ran through the worst kinds of brush without any thought. 99% of the time he was full of burrs, matted fur, and smelled horrible. I say thins because I've never encountered a matted up stink bomb squatch. Also, I wonder if the nose was bitten off in this case. Comment from user Indrid Thor at Reddit.